Hi guys, welcome back to Lying Serpent Media. I was just sitting here going over the Senate hearing committee with AG Barr and this Mazie Hirono. Do you understand the level of rudeness that these people have? I mean, it's just unexplainable. Here we are getting ready to go into 2020 and they are still behaving like demons. These Decepticons, the way they behave is just unacceptable. It doesn't matter if it's against President Trump or whomever, to just treat somebody with such disrespect. Just roll the clip.
Mr. Barr, now the American people know that you are no different from Rudy Giuliani or Kellyanne Conway or any of the other people who sacrificed their once decent reputation for the grifter and liar who sits in the Oval Office.
So apparently, working with Trump, you have sacrificed everything. Your reputation, your standing in the community. You have just put dirt on your name by working for this administration. Last Ted Cruz said, you know, you get the Kavanaugh treatment. But hey, I don't know. Is this what America is coming to? Is this what we have to look forward to once these people take full control of Congress? You know, all the people on the left, they will eventually wake up. Once they see what they have put in place and is fully enacted, they're gonna wish that they had Trump.
You once turned down a job offer from Donald Trump to represent him as his private attorney. At your confirmation hearing, you told Senator Feinstein that, quote, the job of Attorney General is not the same as representing, end quote, the president. So you know the difference, but you've chosen to be the president's lawyer and side with him over the interests of the American people. To start with, you should never have been involved in supervising the Robert Mueller investigation. You wrote a 19-page unsolicited memo, which you admit was not based on any facts, attacking the premise of half of the investigation. And you also should have insisted that Deputy Attorney General Rob Rosenstein recuse himself. He wasn't just a witness to some of the president's obstructive behavior. We now know he was in frequent personal contact with the president, a subject of the investigation. You should have left it to career officials. Then, once the report was delivered by the special counsel, you delayed its release for more than 2 weeks. You let the president's personal lawyers look at it before you even deigned to let Congress or the public see it.
Can somebody please tell me why all the theatrics, why Mazie Hirono is complaining about the delay when they got the over 400 pages of the entire investigation? Is she mad that, I don't even know if it's true or not, that AG Barr allowed Trump's attorneys to review it first before Congress? Is she mad because she didn't get it in her hands first? This is just ridiculous.
Cruz. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. General Barr, thank you for your testimony. And let me start by just saying thank you. You've had an extraordinarily successful legal career. You didn't have to take this job. And you stepped forward and answered the call yet again, knowing full well that you would be subject to the kind of slanderous treatment, the Kavanaugh treatment, that we have seen of senators impugning your integrity. And I, for one, am grateful that you answered that call and are leading the Department of Justice both with integrity and fidelity to law. That is what the nation rightly expects of our Attorney General, and I believe you are performing that very ably. I think this hearing today has been quite revealing to anyone watching it, although perhaps not for the reason some of the Democratic senators intended. One thing that's revealing in the discussion and questions that came up, a word that occurred almost none at all, is the word Russia. For 2.5 years, we heard Democratic senators going on and on and on about Russia collusion. We heard journalists going on and on and on about Russia collusion, alleging, among other things, some using extreme rhetoric, calling the president a traitor. We heard very little of that in this hearing today. Instead, the principal attack that Democratic senators have marshaled upon you concerns this March 27th letter from Robert Mueller. And it's an attack that I want people to understand just how revealing it is. If this is their whole argument, they ain't got nothing. So their argument is as follows, and let me see if I understand it correctly. You initially, when you received the Mueller report, released to Congress and the public a 4-page summary of the conclusions. Then on March 27th, Mr. Mueller asked you to release an additional 19 pages, the introduction and summary that he had drafted. And indeed, in the letter, what he says is, quote, I am requesting that you provide these materials to Congress and authorize their public release at this time. And the reason he says it is that to fully capture the context, nature, and substance of the office's work and conclusion. So you did not release those 19 pages at that time. Instead, a couple of weeks later, you released 448 pages, the entire report, which includes those 19 pages. Do I have that timeline correct?
That's right.
So their entire argument is, General Barr, you suppressed the 19 pages that are entirely public, that we have, that we can read, that they know every word of it. And their complaint is it was delayed a few weeks.
During the time you substituted your own political judgment for the special counsel's legal conclusions in a 4-page letter to Congress. And now we know, thanks to a free press, that Mr. Mueller wrote your letter objecting to your so-called summary.
And I'm going to reiterate again, just for somebody new who clicks on my video, no, I am not a Republican. No, I am not a Democrat. You know, I go with what's right. I don't care if you a Democrat or a Republican. You know, your behavior and the things that you stand for is what I look at, you know. And all I can see here lately is the demon rats acting and behaving in such a manner that I would never vote for them. And the things that they want to put in place, like I said, I left Los Angeles and I just heard the other day they want to up the gas tax. These people are already paying almost $5 a gallon. Now, you just look at it on a small scale. California, completely controlled by Democrats. State tax, gas tax, you know, tax up the wazoo. Is that what we really want? And then they talking about taxing 70% of your income. You go to work, you work hard all day, you know, you want your paycheck, but no, they want you to give 70% of your income, you take home 30. Really? Is that really what you want? Man, y'all better wake up. I want to thank you guys for subscribing and for tuning in and just letting me know that there are other people out there that feel like I feel, who's tired of all this banana republic going on in America and just ready for all this stuff to end, you know, ready for Congress to start acting like they got some sense and doing things for the American citizens. Thanks again for tuning in and see you guys next time.